guys, it's Grant and Tyler
know
here
what it
today
is.
with episode 6 of Gym Talk.
Gym Talk episode 6, wait.
Bam!
There it is, episode 6, guys. What is going on? How's everyone doing today?
And today we're going to be doing Prefo. It's from Magnum Nutraceuticals.
I saw somebody pass who I knew, so.
It's from Magnum Nutraceuticals. They also do Limitless, which, by the way, actually, that video will be coming out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, on Wednesday. So this one will be really good. I got this in a box. I've had it before. I actually really like it. It has 200 milligrams of caffeine. There really is no beta-alanine, so it's not really much of a kick. But once you get into the gym, I feel like it's a lot good, more focused kind of thing.
And that's not going to give you the tingles.
No,
That's what the beta-alanine does.
Yeah, it's not going to give you the tingles, but it's going to give you the
Energy,
kick.
it's going to get you, it's going to give you that little afternoon kick in the rear, you know?
After I did this, I felt like my hands were just like oven mitts.
Great.
They were like warm. Just
like ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
This is, what's that called? That is called a thermogenic effect, this one has.
Yeah, I think it might have.
All right.
So
I've never had this kind, like with all these pre-workouts that we're trying, I've had like 0 of them before. So it's always a fun time. I'm always excited to see what Grant has in store for us. So Prefo Green Candied, or
green candied apple.
Candied. If I can speak here, if I can learn how to read. Candied green apple. And I'll tell you what do you think about green apples?
Oh,
Excuse you, bro. Dang.
I actually like them. No, that's my phone.
I'm sure.
So I actually really like this one.
You like the Granny Smith apples.
The taste in this one is pretty stellar in my opinion. So.
All right. Well, what do you think about the candy? What are those called? Those green apple suckers
thank you. No,
with the caramel on them?
No.
Oh, dude, no. I would love those.
No.
We
Anyway,
would always get some.
I'm gonna go ahead and start this going because.
Well, you better get her going. You guys already know what we do. You know, we go straight to the dome. So we'll throw half in Grant's, and then we just gonna go down the hatch.
This is also kind of hard too because they put 2 servings in one.
2 servings in one, so you go half and half. So really, if you take the whole thing, it's 400.
Take the whole thing.
I guess,
you gotta
right?
find right in the middle, probably right there, and then you pinch it.
And you pinch her off,
Kind of pinch it until you feel your fingers.
Let's keep it PG on here, Grant. Come on now, buddy. Pinch until you feel the fingers. Okay. So you said you've had this kind before. Was it the same flavor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave me 2 samples. It was in a
Is it strong?
box.
Let me ask you this. Is it strong?
Like strong flavor or strong?
Like sour. Like when I think of green apple, I'm thinking it's going to be tart.
No. It's straight up good. And if you would like, you can even use the funnel that I have.
Oh, you know what? You know what we do. You know what? We're not going in. We're going down the hatch, Grant. Come on, you know this.
All right. Well,
it's going to get a little messy in here.
Yeah.
We're in the new whip. I don't know if we told the fans we got a new whip.
Yeah, new whip.
We got the new whip here. What is this, Bugatti?
Oh, God.
Is that what this is? It looks nice. All right, boys. Down the hatch, everyone knows the rules.
That's so gross. You can kind of see it turns a little bit green, but yeah, I couldn't do that. No, thank you. Oh, chug.
Ah! Ooh! That literally tastes like
green apple.
I won't go that far.
Really?
Straight to the dome, it tastes like a green. It's a mix of a green Jolly Rancher and a green Warhead, like those sour ones.
Okay. Yeah, I probably couldn't try just powder, but
I mean, I'm not mad about it. I like it.
See, the taste is really, really good.
The taste is
She
good.
actually turned and looked at you.
Folks, we are in the parking lot here, and we just see people go back and forth.
That's funny. All right.
We got some fans passing by.
So today, I actually wanted to talk about, which it's kind of weird, but law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Okay, we're coming out of left field here.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. So
you had a ticket the other day, then?
No. I was driving up here, and every single time I see a cop, like especially come right behind me, like going the other way, I freak out,
bro.
Right?
Why do we do that? You could be going in a 25-mile-an-hour, you could be going 20. Phone, you don't even have your phone in the car. 2 hands are on the wheel, cocked and locked.
10 and 2.
10 and 2, and you got the seatbelt on. There's not even music. You're just eyes locked on the road. And you see a cop out of the corner of your eye, you start to sweat.
Oh my god!
You're like, oh my god, he knows I have drugs in here. When you don't, like what?
So I was in a school zone, and which I was going the appropriate speed and everything, and I saw him come by, and the thing is that he stopped or put on his brakes to turn.
And you thought he was coming to get you.
Yeah.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
So let me tell you about this. I got a ticket actually on my way back down to Springfield because I was going 90 and on 13, right? And which I was going so fast that I saw the cop whip around and go through the median.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, he went through the median. That's why every time I get scared because I know that he's
a little PTSD action.
Yeah, so I'm like, what is happening? Okay, he's braking. Okay. Before I even got my tags on here, a cop actually, it was crazy. I was on Kansas, and which the guy just totally whipped around and like turned on his lights because I assume for me he thought like this car didn't have any tags because in the front there is no license plate.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So he immediately.
Well, you don't have one now.
I don't have a front license plate, but I have a back license plate.
Okay. I got you.
So he immediately turned on his lights, and then like he immediately turned them off.
Oh, when he got behind you?
Like he did a loop, turn them on.
So he passed you and saw.
No. He saw me. I was driving.
Oh, out of the corner. He's like, "Hey, no tags,
Yeah.
or no plate."
Yeah.
So then you drive, and then he turns them on, and then he sees when he pulls out. Okay, I got you, folks. Now we know the whole story. Okay,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, just simple mistake, but what are you gonna do?
I know, but it's just like it's crazy to think about. I mean, like how many times they abuse sometimes they abuse their power, but
yeah.
I mean, like
I tell you what, man, it's very. I mean, it's more prevalent now more than ever, just the subject of law enforcement, getting into law enforcement, and just everything surrounding that profession. Not even just cops. It could even be like security guards or anything. I mean, I feel like now more than ever, especially in 2019, like they just don't have a good connotation right now. I mean, it's just... You bring up law enforcement and people get a little antsy, you know what I mean? And I mean, rightfully so in some instances, in other instances, no. I mean, it's hard to distinguish. I mean, and like you said, a lot of the malpractices that were going on, let's say 20 years ago, now since there's body cams, audio, and all this stuff, they're seeing more law enforcers maybe abuse their power more so. Or,
I mean, honestly, I thought it was just abusing their power, just turn on their lights and go through a light.
Oh, well, I mean, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would agree. But, I mean, my 2 cents is I don't even know, man. Yeah. I mean, there's so much out there. Like, that's a whole can of worms.
I know.
That you just,
I know
don't
it's
even
a
know where
touchy
to
subject.
begin.
I know it's a touchy subject, but I mean, I just thought I went ahead and talked about it just because I just thought about it when coming here and everything else.
Oh, it's good though.
And then on top of that, my brother actually went into law enforcement for a bit.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He went into law enforcement. Wasn't really him, which
didn't like it.
I mean, I think he liked it. I think he liked being a part of it. It's just. I honestly really don't know exactly the case, but he went into security right after that, in which he did security before. Like Garrett, my brother, and I actually did security for Arrowhead.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yep.
Yeah, and so that was really good under our belt.
That was kind of a little taste anyway.
Yeah,
a little introduction into it.
Yeah, and plus he did the A+ program, and with his criminal justice degree, he could get. With Missouri Western, he could get...
Oh, up in St. Joe?
Yeah, I think he could... I forget, Garrett, if he got tuition for free or he got room and board for free, but it was one of the two.
It was a good deal.
For 4 years. Yeah,
Heck
that was like one of the last years they actually accepted the 4-year program.
Well, now is it a 2-year now, or how does that work?
It's now 2 years for community college, but if you go to St. Joe, they just give you a scholarship.
Okay.
That's what it was. He got tuition for 2 years for free.
Okay.
For,
I mean,
for,
hey.
for a 4-year school.
Well, there you go.
Right.
I'll
Whereas,
tell you what. I mean, schools now. I mean, that's a whole. I mean, you could go into that for hours, but
I did community college for 2 years for free, and then that's.
Oh, you did that program as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and so he really enjoyed it, and you know that just kind of reminded me of things. So, but
right on, man. Yeah. I have, as far as law enforcement or law enforcement. Dude, I tell you what, this pre-workout's kicking in. Every time I take pre-workout, I feel like
but you don't take it as frequent.
I don't. But I'll tell you what, man, my vocabulary and just my English just goes out the door.
So actually, whenever I take the caffeine pills at work, oh my gosh, you can tell, because like within 15 minutes of a meeting, I just speak super fast. And the thing is that I am so accurate on like my projects, on the conversation, on like even just impacting the whole meeting. People go like, whoa, like you're on something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on caffeine. That's what I'm on.
Yep. That's right. I've never took straight caffeine, like caffeine pills.
It's actually pretty good.
I've never done that.
So the one thing is that you don't really feel a crazy rush, but you do feel like your body like just goes into overdrive.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Yeah. I mean, like I've had instances where I mean like I feel it completely, and then I have some to where I'm just like, meh, whatever. You know?
Well, you probably build up a tolerance, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
so,
I know when you and Shelby went off that for that week, right?
Oh gosh.
I mean, forget it.
Oh,
I couldn't do that, man. Like, right? I mean, I could, obviously, but I notice myself even now, like if I don't have some kind of caffeine, whether it's through my BCAAs or even just if I have a Monster in the afternoon, like I'll start I can feel like a little bit of a headache coming on. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, I have a caffeine headache because I need caffeine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you think about supplements in regards to like aiding pretty much daily life? I mean, with caffeine, with melatonin, with Adderall, with, you know what I mean, a lot of stuff like that.
Creatine as well and stuff like that.
Creatine is like, creatine's a smaller one, but I mean, yeah.
What do you mean? What do I think? So,
what do you? Well, let's tackle the big ones, right? We have Adderall, melatonin, and caffeine. I feel like those are the three big ones that people rely on too frequently.
Especially in college too. Like in the college scene, I mean, you can just walk around, or I mean,
people have insomnia, but they actually create it themselves.
Sure. And you know, that's the thing, like it's just it just snowballs. Like you'll stay up late and then you'll get tired throughout the rest of the day, and then you're like, oh well, hey, I can't focus during school, I need to take some Adderall, or I need to do this or this or this, when it was all, hey, just get a good night's rest,
right? And
all that's going to go away. But then you build up a tolerance to this and this, and then you're increasing your doses with caffeine,
right,
Adderall, and then you can't sleep at night because you slept, or you were up till what, 4 a.m.
Right.
And then you feel groggy all day, and then at night you're wide awake, so then you take melatonin to try to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's constant. I feel like a lot of that is just a lifestyle as well, because you create that yourself. Now, in some cases, obviously, if it's used correctly, like caffeine, sure, go ahead. I mean, you can have up to like 400 milligrams.
Depending on your body size.
Depending on your body size and other factors and stuff like that. I mean, it's upwards of 400, you're fine. But then you see people drinking, you know, 4 Monsters a day, or Bangs, which has 300 milligrams of caffeine. Then you see people drinking coffee like it's water, and then you'll pop Adderall to knock out a couple hours of homework, and then at night you can't sleep, so then you'll take melatonin. So it's a vicious cycle. You know what I mean? So a lot of it, like you said, is created by just people just not getting good rest.
And then on top of that, actually, there's actually 4, because I completely forgot the big sucker, alcohol.
Oh,
because since alcohol, of course, you know, is more of a depressant.
And then you're gonna mix that, like when people go out, like to the clubs or wherever they go out, they'll get a vodka Red Bull. And so, you know what I mean? So you're going to mix alcohol with a stimulant like Red Bull, and then you're ingesting more caffeine. You have 4 of those. I mean,
or people take quote unquote nightcaps that actually even reduce their sleep and actually support their sleep.
Really?
Yeah. So the nightcaps. Well, like, I mean,
nightcaps. What is that?
Nightcaps it's typically like a small shot or like a small drink of some sort of alcohol, because it makes them feel warm and numb, and so they can.
So that aids in sleep. nightcaps?
Supposed to be, but in actuality it doesn't. Yeah, that's like a false saying almost, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So people go like, oh, I like to take a nightcap whenever I go to sleep, and it's like,
see, I've never heard of those. I mean,
nightcaps?
I'm sure I've never heard of that, but.
Really?
I'm sure like it's out there. I would imagine.
It's an older term. It's more of like.
I'm sure I've seen it. Honestly, I just probably don't know what was referred to as a nightcap.
I mean, it's pretty much any sort of alcohol, right? I mean, just without
like a shot before bed, almost kind of.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that helps in sleep, is what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's supposed to do because
that's what it's marketed for, anyway.
Right. Whereas in actuality, it does not. It actually removes the sleep than anything. So yeah, I mean, like. Honestly, I feel like those 4 big ones are just massively overused, in my opinion.
Sure, absolutely. And I would say like the demographic is, and I could be wrong, but primarily like young 20-year-olds, maybe 19, even down to 18 college students, honestly.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Because that's where you're going to see a lot of the staying up late, cramming for tests, studying, lack of sleep, alcohol.
I mean, you're also talking about a society or even just a group of people to where they overconsume, right? Binging on too much to the point where you would have to then binge on another thing, and then you would have to binge on another thing. Like if you watch too much Netflix, you forget to study, so therefore you have to binge on studying. Well, there's this drug that will support it, and it just doesn't. It's just a vicious cycle that people are actually in, and it's unfortunate because it's getting to the point where it just affects them even long term. So.
Oh, absolutely. And just like with anything, like you said, even like caffeine, like you'll get a headache if you don't have it. Just like I said, like I can notice myself, like if
groggy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and it's bad. Like, and I'm sure it's the same thing with like melatonin and then it's a lot of it's psychological, I feel like too. Then people think if they don't have melatonin, like they can't go to sleep. Yeah, it'll mess with their head. Like, oh, I need this. Yeah. Like I need it to go to sleep.
So actually, to bring you a point, I had a coworker who talked to me about, because since they were curious, they were like, look, I mean, he literally could not actually see. Whenever he was looking at things, it fog up. But the thing was that he has diabetes.
Okay.
And so which he created insomnia because of, his party days and all this other stuff. And so he started taking melatonin, and he started taking, is it Dramamine? Is that what it is? The other drug, like that gets you to fall asleep?
I have no idea. But I mean,
because melatonin is an organic one.
Well, your body naturally makes melatonin,
right. But I'm saying it's like Dramamine or something like that like is the actual like synthetic drug that can get you falling asleep. That a lot of
the man-made version.
Yeah,
of that almost.
a lot of over-the-counter stuff will have, right?
Sure.
And so I guess he started taking some of that, and it would make him fall asleep. But then he started being reliant on it, started like taking more and more and more, and then sooner or later he started noticing his eyesight would start fog up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And so I simply told him, I was like, just try leaning off of it. Just stop doing it on the weekends.
Cut your dosage down.
Yeah. Be like, stop on the weekends.
And that's over the counter?
I don't really know. I'll have to ask him, but he was like, hey, I actually took your advice, and Monday he was like, I can see like so much better.
Really? That's so crazy.
I'm like, wow, that's honestly all that it took.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty crazy, that kind of stuff like that, man. I'll tell you what, like a lot of stuff, whether it's like you said, melatonin, caffeine, alcohol, whatever it is, like it really is a snowball effect where you're just gonna binge on, like, oh, you can't sleep, so let me take 3 melatonin.
Binge on consumption.
And then the next night you're like, oh, 3 knocked me out right away and I don't feel any different, so let me take 3. Then 3's the new norm.
Right.
3's the new one.
Right.
And then a night when 3 isn't working for you, then you're gonna take 4, and then 4, then 5, and then it's just, like you said, dude, it's a vicious cycle, and I would hate to have anyone like to have to go through that. And you see it all the time, especially in college.
College is the worst place for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Worst place for
absolutely. It. Or maybe high stressful jobs.
And which the thing is that college should be a time where you start I mean like your body's literally in development. And then on top of that, your brain is still in development. And being reliant on those drugs later on,
it's gonna mess you up long term. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And a lot of that stuff is too, it's like it's been out, but it's not old enough where people...
Caffeine is pretty old.
Well, caffeine, sure, but when you talk about like melatonin or, I mean, alcohol has been around forever too, but like, you don't hear about like the studies of it long term. Like, you don't hear about somebody who is 80 years old and whether they have dementia or what. Like, I'm not saying dementia is a cause of that. I'm just saying whatever it is, like, we don't know the long term effects of that.
Well, I mean, we're not there yet.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing.
So that's the scary part.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
So it'll be very interesting.
Unpredictability.
It'll be very interesting in 2030 or whatever X amount of years when you know, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have mixed melatonin with alcohol and caffeine and all this other stuff.
No, thank you.
So,
well,
who knows?
Anyway, this is a little bit different for our podcast. I figured we
dropped some heat. We dropped some knowledge, and you know what? That's okay.
Talked a little bit other than just supplements and working
just life.
out. Yeah,
just life in general, and that's okay, folks.
And that's where I wanted it to be. So today we're gonna be doing shoulders again.
Absolutely. So, I got a deadly shoulder workout for us.
Hopefully, we're gonna be doing a post show again, and so yeah. I feel like the caffeine is pretty good. I haven't really felt like it fully kicking in, but again, I think I might be a little bit tolerant compared to you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're gonna do the shoulder workout, come back, see how it feels, and we'll do a post show.
We do a post show.
Posto.
Anyway, see you guys.
All right.